Tacko Fall is an absolute giant who is a fan favorite for everyone in the NBA. But he hasn't always been at the top, and there's some things about his life that haven't even been told. And today, I'm just here to explain to y'all his story. Tacko Fall. Everybody loves this guy. He seems like a great dude to be around, and how can you not root for him? He's played a little for the Celtics, and whenever he plays or anything he does, everyone goes crazy. However, this guy has had a very difficult path to where he is today, and to get into that story, we gotta throw it all the way back to where things started. Tacko Fall was born on December 10th in 1995 in Dakar, Senegal. As he was growing up, and from the start, he was always pretty tall as a child, but he had no interest in basketball. And even though he had zero interest in basketball, a lot of his friends told his mother that he should try to play, and she really didn't pay attention to them. As time started to pass, Tacko Fall still didn't have any interest in basketball up until he was about 16. There was a guy who ran a local basketball academy, and he met with Tacko Fall and his mother and told them that basketball could lead him to educational opportunities in the United States. One thing about Tacko that nobody knows or even really talks about is that he is very smart. And about 6 months after that guy talked to Tacko and his mother, they decided to move to the United States. And in an interview, Tacko Fall went on to say this: "The idea was exciting. You have all these thoughts about how it's going to be, and then once I got here, it really hit me like I'm in a different country. I probably won't see my mom or brother for a while. That's when it really hit me." Now, just because Tacko Fall moved to the United States, things did not get easier for him. They actually got kind of harder. He was supposed to attend a school in the Houston, Texas area, but it just never fell through. And after that fell through, a search for a new school was very challenging because of the eligibility issues. Within an 8-month span, Tacko Fall wound up going from Illinois to Kansas to Tennessee to Georgia and Ohio. But finally, in the fall of 2013, he wound up going to Liberty Christian Prep in Florida. It took him a long time just to adapt to a different environment because he was a pretty introverted kid. His new living situation was very awkward because he was staying with a host family. For those of you that don't know, a host family is a family that takes care of a foreign exchange student basically. He was so shy that whenever he wanted something to eat, his family said he always asked first. His host family even said one time Fall ate 2 baskets of garlic knots, 3 large pizzas by himself, and a whole thing of lemonade. And I'm talking about in one sitting, not throughout the day. That's crazy. And oh yeah, remember how I told you he's smart? He took the SAT and scored in the 95th percentile in Florida. So he is a very smart player. Although he was a smart player, his basketball skills weren't exactly the best at the time. When Fall was a junior, his head coach called UCF's coach and told him to at least come look at him. And quote unquote, his head coach said this: "Hey, I want you to just see this kid. He's a long ways away, but golly, he's nothing like you've seen before." And sure enough, UCF wound up offering Tacko Fall a scholarship late in his junior year. And that was really his only decent offer up until the Nike EYBL. On the EYBL travel circuit, this is when Tacko Fall really shined and a lot of colleges took notice. And he was even invited to the prestigious NBA Top 100 camp. He wound up going to the camp and he really didn't know anyone there, and when he came back, he said this: "I don't think I belong here." And his host mother didn't want to hear any of that. She just reminded him that he really just started playing basketball and he's going to get better. And just like his host mother said, later in that same week, she received a text message from the assistant coach at the University of Florida. Basically, all it said was that they was very interested in Fall and they wanted to offer him. As time went by, Tacko Fall ended up with 33 offers in total. He even had offers from Harvard and Princeton because they was very intrigued by his skills and his academic potential. However, Tacko Fall just felt like he had to be loyal to Central Florida because they really expressed interest in him before anyone else even believed in him. And quote unquote, he said this: "They believed in me. in what I could do and what I could become," Fall said, so that really helped. So with all this being said, he wound up deciding to commit and sign with UCF. And for his college career, there's really not that much to talk about. He is probably arguably the most consistent player for 4 years of college that I've ever seen. For his freshman season, he had a field goal percentage of 75. And to go along with that, he averaged 7.4 points per game and 2.3 blocks. And now this is where I'm talking about his consistency. For his next 3 years of college basketball, his field goal percentage was 715, 767, and 748. That is insanely consistent. But not only that, listen to this. He averaged 10.9 points one year, 11.3 the next, and 11.1 his senior season. So like I said, there's really not that much to talk about for his college career. He was just Mr. Consistent. On the defensive side of the ball, he was consistent too. He averaged 2.6 blocks his sophomore year, 1.9 his junior year, and 2.6 again his senior season. And Tacko Fall has always been very insecure about himself and his talent, but after one game against Duke, his coach went on to say this. He was confident that he would be successful, and I think it just validated it for him. He knew he belonged at that type of level. So after his senior season, he only had one option, and that was to go to the NBA. Fall actually got an invite to the NBA Combine, which is really great, and he competed against the best of the best players. And Tacko Fall set several combine records for his height and shoes, which was at 7'7", his wingspan, which was about 8'2" and 1/4, and his standing reach, which was 10'2" and 1/2. And he actually performed really well during the pre-draft, and he believed, and a lot of other people believed, that he would get drafted. He wasn't one of the 20 prospects who got invited to the NBA Draft's green room, which is where, they hand out invitations for players who are supposed to get drafted, but he did travel to the Barclays Center in Brooklyn anyways and sat in the stands with his fans. And Tacko Fall waited all night, and unfortunately he never heard his name called. He wound up just going back to his New York hotel room, and he was discouraged and really confused. It was kind of a shock to him that he didn't get drafted, and a lot of other people, because they really thought he would at least get drafted late in the second round. Tacko Fall went on to say this: "That was probably one of the toughest days in my life. I wanted to experience it, and I did believe I was going to get picked. It was hard for a few days, but you've got to keep pushing." But luckily for Tacko Fall, his journey does not stop there. The Boston Celtics actually have been tracking Tacko Fall for several years and even held a pre-draft workout for him after his sophomore season in college. And they were actually kind of surprised that he wasn't selected, and they was pretty happy that they had a chance at him. And the Boston Celtics said this: "His footwork has gotten better, his hands have gotten better, his post moves have gotten better. It wasn't night and day, but slow, steady progression." And the morning after the draft, Tacko Fall agreed to an Exhibit 10 contract with the Celtics. I know a lot of people don't know what that is, so let me explain that to you. It is basically a 1-year non-guaranteed deal that would put Tacko Fall on the Summer League and Training Camp roster. And if he is waived after training camp and decides to join Boston's G League affiliate, the Maine Red Claws, he will receive a $50,000 bonus. But that's not satisfying for Tacko Fall, because he definitely wants to make the roster and play in the NBA. And so far for Tacko Fall in his so-called rookie season, he's actually played for Boston in real games. He's actually played in 6 total games for Boston, and of course it wasn't any meaningful playing time and it wasn't long, but hey, at least he got to play. And in those games he's played, he's actually averaging 3.2 points per game, so at least he's being somewhat productive. For Tacko Fall and his family, their dream came true. He actually made it on a roster spot in the NBA. But he doesn't just want to settle there, he actually wants to play on a team a lot and just be one of the main guys. And I really don't think Tacko Fall is going to give up just quite yet, because he's been grinding and persevering his whole life. So, will Tacko Fall get a real and legit opportunity in the NBA? Or is this the end of his unbelievable and unreal story? But hey man, with all this being said, that's about gonna wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. If you are new to the channel, what are you doing? Join the family and hit that subscribe button and leave a like for more. And as always, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace.